everyone, and welcome to Global Outlook. I'm Mary Sitt. HCC has a rich program for its international students who come here from around the world to study here in Houston. Our first guest will tell us about the prestigious Community College Initiative Program for international students. It attracts the best and the brightest students from around the world. Odeta Zheku is a program coordinator. Thank you so much for being with us, Odeta.
Thank you for inviting me, Mary.
Tell me about this program. How does it work exactly?
So the Community College Initiative Program, it's a program for exchange international students, and it's sponsored by U.S. Department of State through Bureau of Education and Culture Affairs and administered from North Virginia Community College. It's a long application process that the students have to go through, and this program, it's selecting the students from unserved and unrepresented groups, and it's providing them with 1 year academic year study in U.S. Community College. Also, not only that, but studying here, they strengthen their professional skills and also their English levels improvement.
Now, this is a wonderful program because it's all expense-paid scholarship program,
yes,
which the State Department pays for. So what is the goal and mission of this program?
So it's not only, it's true that the Department of State is paying for the international students, but also the international students that come here in state of J1 visa, they also give back to the community. So the 5 pillars of the program, they are academic, that it's one of the field that they are studying here. The other one is internship. They have to do internship hours within 1 year. They have to do volunteering hours within 1 year.
Very
and
nice.
Also they are engaged in culture exchange activities and a leadership program.
That sounds very comprehensive.
Yeah.
And basically, it's to present the United States in a good light to these countries so they can go back to their countries sort of as goodwill ambassadors about their great experience here. Is that right?
This is true. So for now, I can, in all the program, we have 146 students from different countries. And ACC, Houston Community College, have only 16 students from different countries, from 8 different countries. And included me as a program coordinator, we have from 9 different countries because I'm also an international person.
You're from Albania, right?
Yeah, I'm from Albania.
Very
so
nice.
It's very interesting to see day by day these students, how hard they work. Some of them have a level of English in a level 4 or more, and some of them level 2. You will be amazed to see their progress during all this time. I have, for example, students from Colombia, from Brazil. They are really hard worker, and I have students from Cote d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast that he is on the top with volunteering hours. So all these students are working day by day, not only studying, but also
giving back to the community.
Yes, doing community service.
And do they get to choose what kind of community service, or does the college help them?
They find it by
They
themselves.
find something.
And we have a lot of partners that we are working with them. Not only Houston Community College that is support for us for academic advisor enrollment process. Regarding every professor that they have, we are in touch with them every time to go to see their progress during the fall semester and also until the end. We have other nonprofit organizations that are working with us. So one of those that is very important for us is Power for Life and Kids Life Matters, that our students go to all their volunteering or community service that they have, helping the community, unrepresented community in Houston, helping them. Also we have other organizations like minority business that it's operating by Houston Community College. We are working with the filmmaking production companies here in Houston because each of the students have to find their internship related to their field of study.
So they have a lot of work to do. They're cut out when they come here. It's not just fun and games.
No, it's
all.
not
It's
only
extremely comprehensive, though.
No, it's not.
But at the end of the day, you're producing a very well-rounded student to go back to the country, right?
Yes, and all this experience that they are gaining here, so that get here, they will implement that experience in their country. And the
Odeta,
one
what do you
that
think you bring to the table? Because you're also from another country and you're working
Yes.
with students from other countries. What can you bring to the table that will help them in their experience in Houston?
So my international experience as a student when I was younger, it's a lot because I know what their needs are here in Houston. I'm trying to be their family here. So not only as a connection between the students and the Houston Community College or other partners, but also to be their family here because it's very difficult to be far from your home without nobody.
Especially when you're young, too.
Yes,
All these are young
yes.
people.
So I have this experience in my previous professional career, and I know what they're going through.
Thank you so much, Odeta, for being
Thank
with
you.
us.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we'll meet two students from this program who are from the other side of the world. They'll tell us why they chose HCC as a stepping stone in their academic career. Stay with us.
HCC. So many reasons, so little tuition. Register today at hccs.edu/now.
I've seen people's lives change just by attending a class at HCC.
Some of them might not have the financial means to go to a four-year university. That doesn't make them any less quote-unquote smart than the kids who go to a four-year school.
HCC is easy to get to. It's easy to apply and easy to become a part of.
It gave me so much confidence.
Once you finish your 2 years there, you can transition into a four-year university or go into the workforce.
It's affordable, it's accessible, it changes lives.
First time I tried Vicodin, and it was laying around my mom's house. And I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
I don't know an industry today that doesn't rely on some amount of coding to run their business. Coding is the 21st century equivalent of the English language. And our particular flavor of this is the iOS Coding and Design School. And Apple's been very supportive and in fact joined with us to roll out the start of this Swift programming initiative. So it's a great opportunity to combine creativity with science and technology, contributing to this app economy.
HCC. So many classes, so little tuition. Register today at hccs.edu/now.
Our next guests are two students from the Community College Initiative Program here at HCC. Please meet Lalit Saini from India, New Delhi actually, and also we have Kandiosky N'Guessan from the Ivory Coast, or in French, how do you say it?
Cote d'Ivoire.
Thank you. So they're here to tell us about your experience here. Let's start with you. You are studying filmmaking, that's right, right? And you've already produced 4 documentaries or 4 films. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I started my journey like 6 years ago. That time I was struggling with so many art forms. I was doing painting, I was doing teaching, I was doing theater acting, I was doing photography and video editing as well. That time someone told me, you cannot do everything together. You have to choose one for your career. And I don't want to leave any of them. Then I decided, let's merge all of them and let's see what I can do. And then I found filmmaking is the only one way where I can do all art together.
That's great.
That's when I am doing filming. Actually, I'm painting. I'm making composition. When I'm sharing something, actually I'm teaching.
Right.
If you are making documentary, I'm teaching, and I am also doing video editing. I am also doing music. I'm composing music. When I'm directing, actually I'm doing acting. Sometimes with the dance video, I'm doing dancing as well. So it's like a combination of all art.
That's great.
It's like a hub. So then I choose, yeah.
And you have 4 films already?
Yeah, I made some short. I made more than actually for myself and for social issue. I made 4 films, but I already made more than 50 films for different companies, different organizations.
How old are you, if you don't mind my asking?
23.
You're 23, you've done all that, more than 50 films? Are they all social?
Actually, after 50, I forget the number. Means I just
at least 50.
I leave the count.
And they're all like social issues?
Mainly in social issues. I worked in New Delhi with education department. In government education department, I made more than 10 films in education for the education department. I made so many films for another organizations who worked with the policy changes, policy implementation in India. And actually, I'm not a filmmaker. I don't want to say that I'm not a filmmaker. I'm a social worker, and the filmmaking is only a tool to get your message across. Yes, filmmaking, good. Teaching, all of that.
Okay, let's talk about you. You are in supply chain management, logistics. Tell me about that, and how did you get interested in that?
Well, I studied logistics when I graduated from high school. And I should say logistics is a bit, I like logistics because it is not something abstract. It is about real life. And
getting something from point
yes,
A to point B.
Getting something from point A to point B. We all are involved in logistics somehow, buying things, storing things, and moving things from the place, from one place to where it is needed, and to have the right quantity, things like this. So that's what I like doing.
And you also are interested in doing something in a humanitarian organization with logistics. Tell me about those ideas.
Yeah, I used to work with DHL in my country, but what I really want to do is to work with, I want what I do to be profitable to the community. I want to feel it like a service, not like making only money. I don't feel comfortable like this, even if I'm working and I make money, but I want it to be like I'm serving people. That's why I want to be involved in the humanitarian logistics and helping people all over the world.
Like if there's a disaster or something,
yes.
a natural disaster, you could get whatever, first aid kits or whatever the humanitarian aid is to the people who need it fastest, right? That would be part of it. So I understand you had the most service hours of all the international students, is that right?
Yeah.
So that must be really something that you hold very dear to your heart. What sort of service are you doing here in Houston?
In Houston, I have been working with the Red Cross, with the food bank, where I have done most of my volunteering hours. I'm not only a volunteer there, but I also have an internship there, because one of my projects is to start a kind of food bank in my country. We don't have these things in my country, and we don't have this volunteering or service culture in my country.
Right.
I know here in the United States it is very developed, because I've seen families, schools, companies coming to the food bank, volunteering together. So I really want to implement something like this in my country and help.
And where does this come from, this drive to give back to the community and to serve the community?
Where does it come from? I should say it's a bit my personality. And it also comes from the fact that I'm Christian. And I know God said we should help each other. If you have one, you should also share with the others. So that's basically what
That's wonderful that you take it to heart like that. Let's talk about the program here in Houston, how it has affected you. What have you learned here at HCC that you want to take back to your country?
So whenever I go in my class, I learn, actually I have dreamed to start a media school in New Delhi as well.
Okay.
So in HCC, whenever I am learning, actually I'm learning how to teach.
Okay.
From the professor, how they are implementing their course, how they are involving with assignments, and how they are teaching all students. So it's so I'm actually learning how to teach and how I can start this kind of school or this kind of organization in India as well.
You're going to do a mini HCC over there, right?
Yeah.
Your version of it, right? But you study the methodology of the teachers and
Right.
how they're teaching because you like that and you want to transport it over there.
Right. Actually, from the starting, as I said, I love to teach, and that I believe teaching is the very very, you can say, very inspiring or very important way to change anyone. Means through education you can change the world.
You can inspire
Next
them to
generation
change, that's true.
can be totally very believe on the recycle things and think about global warming and think about how humanity more knowledge only through the education. You can only change the world through the education, I believe.
Okay.
And that's how and filmmaking also the part of.
That's just another tool of teaching,
yes.
right? Through
Yes.
your
So
films.
that's why I want to start a media school as well.
Okay.
And in India, there's a media school, but they are so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to create a media school where people who have true passion toward the filmmaking and want to do something, true talent, and they don't have money, but
give them scholarships.
Yes.
Very good. And tell me, what have you learned? What are some of the big takeaways for you? What you've learned here in Houston, and also from HCCs particularly?
Well, I've learned that people are very proud of what they have, of where they are. And as I was saying earlier, these kind of volunteering things made a big impact in my life, because in my country we really don't do things like this, and this is something very positive I keep from Houston and from United States.
Are there any impressions that you, maybe false impressions you had of what you thought, because this is your first time, both of you have been in the United States. Right. What's your impression? Did you have an idea of what it would be like, but it's not, or was it sort of what you thought it would be like?
Yeah, my impression is like, the first impression is, the family means, in India we live in a very,
extended
inclusive,
family.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like we have joint families, like, more than 20 members sometimes in one family. But here, after 18, we can see everyone is individual. Parents living in another home, and
we treasure independence.
Yeah. So that's the one thing. I think if I got something, India is the very unity, and here is very independent. Actually we want both.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a balance.
Very good.
I learned that thing, how can be balanced through the unity and through independence.
And for you, very quickly?
Yeah, I was not expecting people to be friendly here.
Really?
Yeah, because I know they said people don't have time, but at least when they pass, they just smile, say hello, and I was not expecting that.
So that's a nice bonus, right?
Yeah, and even hugging.
You don't hug in your country? Not strangers?
Not
we
really,
hug.
yeah, not really.
Well, welcome to both of you, and I hope you have a continued success here in Houston and HCC. Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up next, the world premiere of Breaking Out of Sunset Place. Think of the movie Thelma and Louise, but with seniors. We'll have more when we come back.
HCC. So many locations. So little tuition. Register today at hccs.edu/now.
We have academic programs that help students get from high school into a university. And the data is very clear that students that take the path of a community college finish in far higher numbers than students that start straight into a university experience. Our students can achieve a baccalaureate degree in multiple fields from the universities in the area without ever leaving Houston Community College.
I learned how to cook from my grandmother in the mountains of Oaxaca. Every time I need some comfort, I just remember what she told me. HEC definitely was a turning point in my life. What those wonderful teachers and instructors taught me is priceless. I have won many awards and worked in many restaurants. HEC was the window which opened the opportunity for me. For this wonderful city, they have given me so much. I will thank you from the bottom of my heart.
The world premiere of Patricia Barry Rumble's play Breaking Out of Sunset Place is a geriatric Thelma and Louise +1 comedy. It's produced by Pantheon of Women, whose goal is to produce compelling, character-driven commercial narratives that are inclusive and entertaining. Our next guest is a co-founder of Pantheon of Women, Donna Cole. Thank you for being with us, Donna.
Thank you.
So tell me about this comedy, Breaking Out of Sunset Place.
Okay, it's hysterical. So if you saw Thelma and Louise,
yes,
imagine them on Geritol now. Right? Okay. And that's what this is about. It's diverse. They have African-American woman and 2 white women. So the African-American woman and 1 white woman are besties in their senior living facility. And one of them's roommate. She's a little crotchety old lady. And she finds out that they're leaving and she wants to go too.
Now, why are they leaving? Are they really escaping?
They're escaping their senior living facility because they have some questions that need to be answered and some people that they want to see and find out what happened to other people. I mean, don't we all want that too in our lives?
And they wouldn't be able to just do it on their own with permission?
Right. Well, you know, the keys were taken away from them. Right. So instead of stealing a car, they're commandeering a car.
So they can still drive?
They can still drive. Okay. Yeah, it's a little bumpy, but you'll, it is hysterical. So I think, and you know, it's one of those things where you root for them.
Right.
So it's a great show because, you know, you're going through their ups and downs, you cry with them and laugh with them. And it's a great ending.
Now, this show is written by a woman, it's directed by a woman, it's produced by women. So tell me about all this women.
Oh, it's very women-centric. So, you know, women have been left out of the film industry and so many other industries, right? So this is a way for us to support other women, and we hope other women will come out. And we have great support from AARP. They're coming in as a sponsor too.
That's great.
And then we have a lot of afternoon sessions where senior living facilities and apartment complexes can come in.
Donna, tell me about Pantheon of Women. You produce movies and plays, but you have a certain angle that you're focusing on,
We want to tell stories about strong women, right? And these women are strong. Strong women with supportive men, because we need men as well, you know, to help change the world. And my other 2 partners, one's a lawyer and one's a CPA. We mentor a lot of girls and a lot of women in business. And, you know, there's just not enough hours in the day to reach the masses. So we thought if we could do this through media, film, and plays, then we can impact millions of people at a time.
Donna, do you think that we have a dearth of these kinds of movies out there these days where it emphasizes strong, dynamic women who accomplish things?
We're trying. We're getting there. There's more and more of them, right? And more of diversity and inclusion, right? I hope you saw this last, some recent movies about Asians, right? And so we're excited about it.
The Rich Crazy Asians?
Crazy Rich Asians?
Crazy Rich Asians, yeah,
yes,
that was great.
Wasn't that great?
I loved it. Yeah.
So, you know, it's a heartwarming story, and then there's a lot of jokes in there too. Maybe some people got them, some people didn't. Right. But I saw it 6 times now.
Wow, I saw it twice. I usually never see it twice.
I want to go to be entertained. There's enough things in the media now that are very depressing, very sad.
And very divisive.
Very divisive and not very humanitarian.
Right.
And so, not that we're trying to be, you know, Miss Goody Two-Shoes. Right. But there are a lot of good people and a lot of good things happening out there.
So, when you're working on a project like this, because you actually selected it as a producer, like you read scripts all the time. Should we produce this one? Should we produce that one? What do you look for, and why did this one appeal to you so much? This play.
This one appealed because age is a factor that we all go through. Right. And so our health is so important to us as well. So it's one of those areas that you can't ignore. Right. So as we're aging, as you know, we're needing health care, and looking back in your life, right? And I think that's the message too that this play will send is, aren't there people in your life that you met who impacted you, that you haven't had anything to do with them for years, and you think, oh, I should pick up the phone and call or email or
Google them, find out where they are these days,
right?
say
and
thank
so
you.
And I think that's what this will do.
Were there any surprises as it was produced on the, you saw it live stages, where when the script wasn't like that, but all of a sudden you see it and you go, oh, I didn't think about that, or a new aspect came out.
When we started our readings is when we knew. To go to a reading and have a standing ovation was so exciting.
Oh my goodness, a standing ovation at a reading?
At a reading.
Okay.
And so we said, okay, we got to do this. And then, of course, going through hiring the cast, right, and finding the right people, equity players and non-equity players, because Queensbury is an equity theater. So that actually brings up the caliber of the actors as well. So it's just been fun. So exciting, and to have black room parties, and then a talk back with the actors and the
Now this
producer,
is not just
director.
a chick play type thing. I mean, men would be interested in this too, right?
Men, absolutely. We have men in there. Okay, so
it's not just all women cast.
So the diversion is there's a donut food fight,
and the men are in that one probably.
Yes.
Okay, this looks like a really good play, and it's running through February the 10th, so there's still time.
It's still time to see it, and I hope people will come out. We have matinees and we have Saturday, Sundays as well in the evenings.
So it's pretty affordable. Can you tell me what other projects are you working on, Pantheon of Women?
Well, we're looking at scripts now.
Okay.
Some of them you can read the first 10 pages and decide, oh no, that's not for us, right? And there's a couple of them are a little edgy, so we'll have to see, some of those edgy things where you're actually teaching somebody a lesson. So I've done some investing privately beyond Pantheon of Women, because we do want to keep it more women-centric. And then there's these other shows that, will help children see things in a different light, but you just have to go through some really tough situations.
Right.
And so those are movies that Pantheon of Women, they're not interested in.
Donna, when you're reading scripts, what grabs you that makes you go, aha, this is it?
Yeah, I think it's something that has to touch your heart. It's something that maybe makes you cry, feel all your emotions, and then something where you're making mistakes, because failure, you have to fail to succeed. And so we believe that that's important in life too. You can't always win.
Right.
And so you have to make those critical decisions in life, and then you have to live with what the consequences are, right? And sometimes you do things that affect other people, unintentional consequences, right? So we want to help people through those situations.
And you like to read scripts that embodies all of that?
Yes. Yes.
That's a tall order.
It is.
And the central character should be a woman, because it's about strong women, right?
Right, exactly.
So what's up next for Pantheon of Women?
Well, we see this breaking out of Sunset Place, going to Broadway, Broadway across America, and the next will be a film. We think it's that great.
That this will become a film?
Yes, that it will become a film. And who knows, maybe Lifetime or somebody will pick it up as a mini-series, because Golden Girls isn't on anymore.
Right.
I know they're bringing back Designing Women. I don't know how successful it is. But, Golden Girls made it for a long time, so I think this could be a lot of fun.
Do you have several projects in the pipe, or do you do one at a time? And then
well,
go
we're
to the
trying to
next
do
one?
one at a time, because we don't want to stretch ourselves too much. And then at the same time, we're getting investors, right? So we don't want to tire them out either.
Where did this love for movies and plays come from? Did you used to go to the movies a lot when you were a kid?
I used to when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Shirley Temple movies, right? Didn't we just love those? Elvis Presley movies.
Yes, of course.
And then the Disney movies came along.
Right, so now you're in charge. You get to decide what becomes a movie or what becomes a play.
Isn't that wonderful?
That's great.
Yeah.
Donna, thank you so much for being with us. And we'll go see your play, Breaking Out of Sunset Place.
Thank you.
That's all for this edition of Global Outlook. We'll see you again every Friday and Sunday at 7:30 a.m. and 7:30 p.m., plus Saturday at 10 a.m. I'm Mary Sitt. Thanks for joining us.